The Cyrus Seal. How a 2,500-year-old king's name is used to justify modern war. 3 statements. 1 holiday. A king who died before the concept of human rights existed. And yet, his name is being used to blueprint a modern war. Listen carefully. In March 2024, and again in early 2025, Israeli officials publicly framed Iran's leadership through the lens of an ancient Jewish holiday, Purim. They did not cite nuclear enrichment thresholds. They did not reference UN resolutions. They invoked a 2,500-year-old story. A story about a Persian court, a royal decree of extermination, and a tyrant named Haman, whose name is ritually erased every year. When political leaders map ancient texts onto modern enemies, history stops being a record. It becomes a script. And in that script, one name keeps returning. Cyrus, the Persian king who freed the Jews from Babylonian exile. Called Messiah in the Hebrew Bible. Never a Jew. Never a Muslim. Yet today, his legacy is claimed by nationalists, by exiled monarchists, by war planners, by scholars who argue that tolerance was just imperial management. This is not a documentary about ancient Persia. This is a documentary about how the past is weaponized. How trauma becomes policy. How a clay cylinder in a London museum becomes a diplomatic contract. And how 90 million Iranians become characters in a story they never wrote. If you want to understand why the Middle East keeps repeating itself, you have to read the footnotes. And the footnotes always point back to Cyrus. Welcome to Chronicle Arcanum. This is the Cyrus Seal. Before we talk about empires, or theology, or modern warfare, we need to talk about memory. Human beings do not remember history linearly. We remember it in loops. We find a story that fits our fear. We dress our enemy in ancient costumes. And we tell ourselves, this time, it will be different. In recent years, political rhetoric in Israel, the United States, and Iran's diaspora has increasingly leaned on historical archetypes. Iran's leadership is framed as a modern Haman, a Persian regime plotting Jewish erasure. A threat that must be met with decisive force, ideally before a holiday named after that very threat arrives. On the other side, Iranian secularists and exiled royalists invoke Cyrus. They call for the Cyrus Accords. They promise a return to pre-Islamic grandeur. They present themselves as the natural heirs of an empire that once ruled half the known world. Both sides use history. Neither side is entirely wrong. But both sides are editing. Because Cyrus did not free the Jews out of modern humanism. He freed them because rebellious provinces are expensive. Loyal provinces are profitable. And Purim was never just a celebration of survival. It was a theological blueprint. A reminder that existential threats can appear without warning. That survival requires vigilance. And that sometimes the enemy looks exactly like the empire you live in. When you strip away the rhetoric, what remains is a pattern. A pattern of narrative recycling. where ancient trauma justifies modern policy, where biblical language replaces geopolitical analysis, and where the average citizen is asked to choose a side in a story that began centuries before they were born. So let's step back. Let's remove the modern flags. Let's read the clay. Let's meet Cyrus before he became a symbol. Cyrus II, born around 600 BCE, in Anshan, what is today southern Iran. He inherited a small kingdom, the Achaemenids, minor players in a region dominated by the Medes, the Babylonians, the Lydians. Within 2 decades, he dismantled every one of them, not through endless slaughter, but through absorption, through calculated mercy. 550 BCE. He defeats Astyages of Media. He does not execute him. He keeps him at court, honored, contained. 547 BCE. He takes Lydia. Croesus, the legendary king, falls. Again, no execution. Croesus becomes an advisor, a symbol of Persian magnanimity. 539 BCE. Babylon, the greatest city on earth. It does not fall to fire. It falls to open gates. Cyrus walks in not as a conqueror, but as a liberator. And here is where history diverges from theology. Babylon held tens of thousands of displaced peoples. Egyptians, Syrians, Canaanites, and among them the Jews, exiled in 587 BCE by Nebuchadnezzar. Their temple burned, their land lost, their prophets writing songs of grief by foreign rivers. Cyrus issues a decree. Let all peoples return to their homelands. Let their gods return to their temples. Let their sanctuaries be rebuilt, at imperial expense. For the Jews, this is not politics. It is prophecy fulfilled. Isaiah 45, verse 1. Written, according to most scholars, before Cyrus was born. And yet, it names him the Anointed One, the Messiah, a Persian king, the only non-Jew in the Hebrew Bible granted that title. Think about the weight of that. A foreign ruler elevated to divine instrument, not because he converted, not because he prayed, but because his policy matched their survival. And that is the first lesson. Empires do not rise on ideology alone. They rise on alignment. When your enemy's enemy opens the gates, history calls it salvation. But Cyrus was not building a utopia. He was building an operating system. A system where cultural tolerance reduced rebellion, where local elites managed their own people, and where Persian hegemony remained unchallenged. It worked, until it didn't. In London, inside a climate-controlled vitrine, a clay cylinder, 22 centimeters long, covered in cuneiform, written in Akkadian, the diplomatic language of the ancient Near East. discovered in 1879 by Hormuzd Rassam. British Museum inventory number 90,919. Known today as the Cyrus Cylinder. It reads like a press release. Cyrus enters Babylon. He claims the god Marduk chose him. He restores temples. He returns displaced peoples. He rebuilds sanctuaries. He frames himself as restorer, not destroyer. In 1971, the Shah of Iran uses this cylinder as the centerpiece of a 2,500-year celebration. He calls it the first Charter of Human Rights. The UN distributes replicas. School textbooks reprint it. It becomes global heritage. But historians pause. Because human rights is a modern concept. Born of Enlightenment philosophy, of post-war trauma, of international law. Cyrus did not abolish slavery. He did not end forced labor. Persepolis, the great capital, was built by conscripted workers, by artisans from across the empire, by people who did not choose to be there. What Cyrus did was imperial pragmatism. He recognized that cultural suppression breeds resistance. He recognized that allowing worship ensures loyalty. He recognized that a happy province pays taxes on time. And that is fine. Empires are not charities. They are machines. But narratives outlive facts. The cylinder becomes a banner for secular Iranian nationalists seeking identity separate from Islam, for Western policymakers seeking historical precedent for intervention, for Israeli strategists seeking a bridge between ancient Persia and modern Jewish survival, for exiled monarchists packaging regime change as historical restoration. One artifact, many owners, all claiming the same truth, none acknowledging the edits. Because history is never neutral. It is curated by whoever holds the museum, or the microphone, or the army. Now, we need to talk about Purim, because this is the engine of the narrative. Purim is a Jewish holiday. Late winter, early spring. It celebrates survival, the reading of Esther, costumes, feasting, noise. Every time Haman's name is spoken, the room erupts. To drown it out, to erase it. The story is simple. Persian Empire. King Ahasuerus, often identified as Xerxes I. His minister, Haman. He despises the Jews. Specifically, Mordecai, who refuses to bow. Haman convinces the king. There is a scattered people. Their laws differ. They are dangerous. Authorize their removal. The king agrees. A decree is issued. Death on a date chosen by lot. Per means lot. Hence, Purim. But Esther is Jewish. Hidden in plain sight. She risks everything. Reveals Haman's plot. The king turns. Haman hangs on his own gallows. The Jews survive. They celebrate. Forever. Historically, scholars are cautious. No external records confirm Esther. No Persian archives mention a queen by that name. No evidence of an empire-wide extermination decree. The numbers do not align with administrative records of the Achaemenid state. Most biblical scholars classify Esther as didactic literature, a story teaching resilience, not a historical transcript. But theology does not wait for archaeology, because Purim is not just about the past. It is a template, a lens. Every generation facing existential threat is invited to ask, who is Haman now? For centuries, the answer has shifted. Spanish inquisitors, Nazi Germany, Soviet repression, and since 1979, Iran's Islamic leadership. When political figures invoke Purim in modern contexts, they are not teaching history. They are activating memory. They are saying, the pattern repeats. The threat is real. The response must be decisive. And that is where danger lives. Not in the holiday, but in the mapping. When ancient survival strategies become modern military doctrine. When biblical archetypes replace diplomatic analyses. When a story about a Persian court justifies airstrikes on a modern state. Cyrus saved the Jews from Babylon. Today, Persia is framed as Haman. The symmetry breaks. The narrative bends. And the question remains. Is consistency the goal? Or is consistency just inconvenient? This is where it touches you. Wherever you are. Wherever you pray. Or don't. Because the Sunni-Shia divide is often sold as ancient hatred. But ancient hatreds rarely survive without maintenance. 680 CE. Karbala. Husin ibn Ali, grandson of the Prophet, massacred by Umayyad forces. His head carried to Damascus. A wound that never closed. The core of Shia spirituality. Martyrdom. Waiting. Justice deferred. But between 680 and 1501, the Muslim world moved. Complex. Fluid. Collaborative. Conflict existed. But so did coexistence. The Abbasid Caliphate, nominally Sunni, relied heavily on Persian scholars. Avicenna, Al-Khwarizmi, Al-Razi, Omar Khayyam. Persian minds. Shia backgrounds. Non-Sunni orthodoxies. They built the Golden Age. Not in isolation. In exchange. Then, 1501. Shah Ismail I conquers Persia. Declares 12 Shia Islam the state religion. Why? Not divine revelation, but statecraft. He needed a border, not just territorial, ideological. His rival, the Ottoman Empire. Sunni. So Persia became Shia. not because theology demanded it, but because identity required it. Religion as border, language as flag, doctrine as distinction. The Ottoman-Safavid wars were not holy wars. They were imperial wars, wearing religious uniforms. Fast forward. 1979. Iran's revolution. Khomeini rises. Exports revolutionary ideology. Supports Shia movements across the region. Saudi Arabia, Sunni guardian of the two holy mosques, responds. Funds Wahhabi institutions. Expands ideological reach, including Southeast Asia, including Indonesia. Two empires, two expansion projects, and millions of Muslims caught in the crossfire of a rivalry that is no longer purely theological. Because a unified Muslim world with independent resources, with military capacity, with the will to say no, is a structural threat. To whom? To any power that benefits from fragmentation. To any strategy that relies on proxy conflict. To any doctrine that requires divided loyalty. A strong Iran is a problem. A divided Iran is a project. The schism is real. The pain is real. But the maintenance is political. And politics always needs an enemy. Mohammad Mossadegh, elected Prime Minister, nationalizes Iranian oil, wins at the International Court of Justice, named Times Man of the Year, loved by his people, and removed by a coup. Operation Ajax, CIA and MI6, funded, planned, executed. In his place, the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. For 26 years, Savak operates, trained by foreign agencies, known for electric shock, isolation, disappearance. Amnesty International ranks Iran among the worst human rights violators of the 1970s. Pressure boils. Not just clerics. Students. Leftists. Feminists. Secular nationalists. All demand one thing. The Shah must go. He leaves. Khomeini arrives. And revolutions always follow the same rule. They are won by the most organized, not the most numerous. Once the shared enemy falls, the coalition fractures. Secular voices are silenced. Leftists are imprisoned. Feminists are pushed out. The revolution that began with freedom ends in theocracy. Now, today, Reza Pahlavi Jr. lives in Maryland. American citizen. Married. 3 children. Nearly 50 years away from Iran. Yet positioned as transition leader. Proposing the Cyrus Accords. Promising recognition of Israel. Promising integration. Promising return to pre-revolution greatness. And here is the pattern. 1953. Regime change for stability. Result: 26 years of repression. Then revolution. Then 45 years of conflict. 2020s. Military pressure for security. Result: potential leadership vacuum. Prepared successor waiting in the wings. Agenda already drafted. Recognition secured. Economy realigned. History invoked. If 1953 produced 1979, what does today produce? History does not repeat. It rhymes. And the rhyme is expensive. Paid for by those who live inside it, not by those who draft it. 90 million Iranians. How many were consulted? How many are included? Or are they just the backdrop? You may be Sunni. You may be Shia. You may be Muslim without a label. You may be secular. You may be none of the above. But you live in a world shaped by these narratives. You just heard about a king who died before Islam existed. A holiday born from a Persian court. A coup that rewrote a century. A schism that became strategy. The question is not, do you support Iran? The question is not, is the Islamic Republic good or evil? The question is not, which theology is correct. The question is, when you see a conflict, when you see division, when you hear an enemy must be destroyed, ask three things. Who wrote the narrative? Who is spreading it? And who benefits if you believe it? Cyrus never asked to be a wartime symbol. The mourners of Kabul are never asked for their grief to be moneized. The people of Iran never asked to be chess pieces on a board drawn by outsiders. The past is not behind us. It is a manuscript. Reread. Revised. Reused. Names change. Mathematics do not. In the next episode, we go back to 550 BCE. To the real Cyrus. To the burning of Persepolis. To the scholars of Baghdad. To the Mongol horizon. To the maps that keep being redrawn. Because to understand today, you must read far enough back to see the pattern. This is the archive. Until we read the footnotes again.